Yeah, I don't know whether it's violation there, but
Andy, are you ready? You guys ready?
I'm trying to check in my boat. Hey, Bill.
All right, good morning. Welcome to your Friday morning safety meeting. My name is John Harden. I'm with our safety department. I want to welcome everybody that's either at a terminal or listening in on one of our social media outlets there. So we're live here from Springfield, Missouri. We are also simulcasting this to our terminal in Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City. So with me, I've got Mr. David White. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, John. Not only that, man, we got it out on YouTube, Facebook Live. I think maybe Fox News and CNN both. You got to play equal share.
I think there's like a contract argument over who gets this. So
yeah, we're going to go syndicate, aren't we, John? You and I.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need to sign our deal sometime, but you got to make sure the money's right.
Exactly. So anyway, good morning. We're glad everybody's here with us or tuning in. So hopefully everyone's enjoying their breakfast this morning. So let's first and foremost, let's thank Mr. John Blansett here at the Springfield location and our other facilities as well for feeding everybody out there this morning. We certainly appreciate that. So we're going to jump right in and we're going to go out east. I believe we've got Mr. Rick Iffert with us. Good morning, Rick.
Hey, good morning. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great. How are you guys?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. Great crowd. It's kind of a small crowd. Everybody's in line though, getting food. They heard there was free food, so everybody jumped up and ran in the line.
I don't blame them. And, I just want to say that I was up in Pittston yesterday, and what has it been here? 140 degrees for 8 straight days or something. Maybe not that high, but close to it.
You're right on.
So yesterday, 61 and light rain. I mean, it was.
Did you feel guilty?
No, I loved it. I kind of wanted to miss the flight back a little bit. So, but I appreciate everyone's hospitality up there. It's just certainly good to see Rick again. So, Rick, what do you got for us this morning?
Oh, I went home in the rain last night. I drove home in the rain and got up this morning and drove to work in the rain. So it just finally stopped raining here. So it looks like we're going to have a halfway decent weekend. We had a great crowd this weekend as far as orientation is concerned. We have a lot of drivers down at the pad right now doing pre-trips and working on getting their CDL licenses, to get them into a truck.
Outstanding. I see a few yellow vests there, so tell them not to get too comfortable. We're going to get them some recognition here in a minute. So, Rick, if you got anything else, or if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns throughout this morning's meeting, please get in front of a microphone and reach out to us.
Hey, thank you for having us, and appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's go out west to Salt Lake City. Aaron, are we with you this morning?
No, you got Brian today. We gave Aaron the day off. So
I didn't think that looked like Aaron.
It's the good looking one. You know what I mean? No, we got a big crowd out here today, and there's a reason for that. I think we got more students coming through. Next week we got a really big class, the biggest one maybe we've had all year. Then we got the 10-year dinner and the million-mile dinner tonight, and then the picnic tomorrow. So busy 48 hours here in Salt Lake City.
You do. That sounds like a lot of fun. I know we have some associates here that are going to be flying out and joining you tonight. So that'll be a great event. Congratulations to everybody that's participating in both of those, and hope you all have fun tomorrow. You guys have good weather tomorrow for the picnic?
Yeah, it looks like it. Last year we got a lot of rain, had to move it inside for bingo. This year it looks like we're having a good turnout, good weather, about 85 degrees, sunshine. So everybody's excited, man. We're ready for it.
Outstanding. I slipped Clayton a little extra money and told him that we need to do in a dunking booth out.
Uh-oh, you froze up on me, so I'm not real sure. I thought you mentioned the dunking booth. We'll get that set up. Tyler's here. He's already volunteered for it, so we'll get him going in that first. All right. Thank you.
this morning, but that's all right. A lot of people
Food must
eating.
be pretty good over there in the cafeteria.
It is good. I know that
Yeah.
for a fact. So,
Yeah.
so welcome everybody here to Springfield. You know, first and foremost, I see a lot of yellow vests, so I want to make a comment on that. So if this is your first week at Prime, whether you're here at Springfield, Salt Lake, or Pittston, if this is your first week, whether you're a student or coming in with your CDL, go ahead and stand up and let us recognize you and welcome you to the Prime family. We certainly appreciate you being here, and you know, a lot of the process for getting hired onto Prime, some of it goes through the safety department, and if you're here, you know, you're the best of the best, that's for sure. You know, we're not taking just anybody to come in here and drive for Prime, so we appreciate you being here. We've done our research on you. Hopefully you've done your research on us. A couple of things that I do want to mention, if you are new here, and for anybody that you know, may not have listened to this before, you know, we're a very open company, and this badge here will get you into any door. Anytime you're at a terminal, please come in, find your fleet manager, find your road assist associate, find your payroll associate, you know, talk to them. We welcome that. We love when you guys come in. You know, we almost get offended if we know you're here and you don't come say hi to us. Maybe not in the safety department, you know, but really build that relationship with your fleet manager, you know, because that's your lifeline between out there and here in the company. So,
And speaking of, John, just this week, I had a couple drivers come by, just want to check their CSA scores, want to check their safety, what we have on them, what's been brought up, you know, any issues. That's fine. That's what we're there for. We're not going to bite your heads off. We're going to work with you, show you everything we got. And, you know, it's your information, and it's important information to have. So make sure if you got questions, stop by and see us. We love to talk to you, chit chat, and we'll see what you have. And hopefully you don't have anything. And that's great too, as well. But that's what we're there for, to provide help. And, you know, like John says, this is transparency right here, man. This is the best as it gets at any company. And today's meeting, it's your meeting. So if you got questions, concerns, whatever, make sure you raise your hand. We'll get you on the mic, and hey, hopefully we can answer that, right, John?
absolutely. Dave made a great point. You know, we're not there to scold, bite anybody's heads off. We're here to educate and hopefully, you know, bring some things to your attention that, you know, if you do need a little work somewhere, that you get better. And the ultimate goal is for everyone to be the safest driver you can be out there on the road. So any questions you have, feel free to stop by.
That's true. And one thing I wanted to start out with real quick here, John, and, you know, we were talking about the heat earlier, how hot it is here. And, you know, some folks we kind of leave out when it gets hot out. You know, we like to kid and say, you know, it's so hot out, and I hate walking to my car because I'm going to get a sweat. My car is not going to be cooled down for a while. But, you know, I've been seeing our shop folks come in here for breakfast and lunch. Those guys and gals, they're all drenched in sweat. You know, I mean, they got to wear work boots. They got to wear steel-toed boots. They wear long pants. Many of them wear long shirts. So, you know, you see them walking around here. You see, if you got to deal with the shop out here with your truck, or make sure you tell them thank you for what they do, because it's a tough job. This heat, there's no giving you a day off, or no air-conditioned shops around here. You know, and I know our shop supervisors, they put fans up and all, try to keep them cool, but it is a rough job this time of year, just like the wintertime when it gets cold out. No different, but heat, not much you can do. You still got to wear your protective clothing and all that. So big thank you to all of our shop associates here and all the locations when the weather gets really hot like this, because it's hard on you. So, but so, you know, just do your part if you can. Just tell them thank you. But all the new folks, welcome to Prime. Just like John mentioned, would love having you. Hopefully you check this out, and if you haven't, hey, jump on the internet, whatever. Just ask other drivers what they think of our training program. That's, you know, we got a couple of trainers over here at this table, and you know, ask for their input. Ask any questions you want. We'll give you the answers and do the best we can. If we don't have them, we'll find out who does, and we'll work that direction too. So.
All right, you want to jump straight into some numbers here this morning?
Yeah, let's look at our inspections this past week. We got a pretty good week finally. You know, we had about 4 or 5 weeks there. We're in a 60% range, but this week actually made it to 72%. We had 120 total inspections. 86 of those were clean, so we bumped that up to 72%. So big round of applause to you. Good job. And that's really, John, where our safety hits the road right there, man. Where rubber meets it out there. It's all of our DOT inspections, your interactions with enforcement out there. You may get pulled into a scale. You may get pulled over, get stopped just to get randomly checked. You may be going 3 or 4 miles over the speed limit. And that officer goes, that's a little too fast for that truck. I'm going to pull them over and we're going to check you out. So keep that in mind. Yes, 3 or 4 miles an hour can get you stopped in a big truck. Many of us drive our 4-wheelers and we're like, oh, we can run 8 to 10 over before the police will do anything about it. Well, that's not the case with a big truck. So, watch that. Watch your speed, of course, all the time. This past week, I was talking to Bill, and we did an outstanding job on our hours of service. We only had 1 violation in hours of service, and that was up in Canada. Charles, you think Canada counts? Do we count that? Absolutely. Okay, we'll count that one then. But no, just 1 violation in Canada, and that was it this week for hours of service. So great job to our operators. Yeah, way to go out there, and appreciate that. We got to drive that hours of service number down, and that's how you do that. No inspections, no violations on hours of service, and real impressive on that end. And keep doing what you're doing. And if you got questions, we got a great log department over here. Get a hold of your log advisor. Make sure you know who he or she is, your log advisor. You need to work with them as you're starting out new. I know there's a lot of faces you're going to see, a lot of people, but number one's important is the fleet manager, road assist, and your log advisor. All 3 of those. Make sure you know them. Payroll's a good one to know too, because they're the ones that pay you. So, keep in contact with them, and any questions, let them know. They're there to help you as well. So, but overall, John, good week on inspections.
That's a great week. You even called it last week. We were like 60 and you're like, it'll bounce back. And here we are. So great job to you guys. So, Salt Lake's talking about all this fun that they're having. We get to have fun here too, don't we, coming up?
We do next week, and they're saying temperatures in the 80s, hopefully. Now, hopefully the weather forecaster's right. They're not right most of the time, but hey, we just need it once next week. So next Friday, September 1st, we're going to have our truck driving championships out here underneath the lights. If you have a CDL as a driver, you're more than welcome to participate. We don't care what, if you've had a ticket or an accident, we just want you to participate. We'd love to get as many drivers out there. We'll set up a course for you. It's pretty simple. It's not that hard. We'll walk you through it too as well before you ever drive through it and show you what you need to do. We'll provide our trucks. So you can't use your own truck, but we'll provide the trucks and trailers. You can either pull a flatbed or a reefer trailer. That's up to you. Even if you're in the reefer division, if you want to pull a flatbed, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Or vice versa. If you're in the flatbed, you want to pull a reefer trailer, that's fine too as well. But next Friday, starting 5 p.m., we like to have everybody out there. We'll do a course walkthrough about 5:30 or so. We've got a number of in-house people that have signed up, John. Over 30 I saw on the volunteer list for helping out fleet managers, salespeople, payroll, maintenance. Of course, you'll have our safety department. By far, the majority of us will be out there as well. But great participation. Orientation is going to be there, a number of them, even training. Stan Casterkey is going to help me out too, setting up the course, thank goodness. And we've got some outside folks coming down to this too. A person from Lockton, they handle our insurance coverage. Also, we got somebody from Missouri Trucking Association coming out. She's going to volunteer as well as a judge. So we got some outside people coming down. They're going to be involved too as well. So it's great having those, and that's what makes this run. But it's all for the drivers at the end of the day. We want you involved and having a good time. It's going to have good food out there. John Blanchett, I'll have his grill set up with all of his folks. Ice cream, burgers, dogs, you name it. He'll have that going. We got music going. I think there's going to be a bounce houses too as well. Clayton has set up for the kids. If you bring your kids to our picnic, which you're more than welcome to, bring your family or have them meet you here. We'll have bounce houses set up for Friday night, and also not only that, but Saturday during the picnic too. So lots of fun stuff for the kids, rides, the ever popular bingo.
Crab legs.
Crab legs, yep. You play bingo, John?
Not really. I focus on the crab legs like Dennis does,
Yeah,
so.
I figured. Yeah, you got that body, look like crab legs. A lot better than mine. Yeah, please show up. Please come here, have a good time, bring your family, friends. Make sure you wear your Prime badge, because you got to have your Prime badge wherever you go in this building. Make sure you have that shown, or security will stop you, or maybe one of us in safety will stop you and say, hey, you're a Prime associate, because if you don't have your Prime badge on, we're not for sure. So, but other than that, a lot of great prizes, like I said, and we'll have a good time. And we'll hand out our trophies for the winners for the TDC. Saturday around noon, we'll do that. And Pride and Polish too, same time as the truck driving championships. So Pam Linhart's involved in that. She's running that. So Pride and Polish is Friday night as well. So if you want to polish up your truck, we got a number of entries there too as well, Pam was telling me. So good prizes to be given out, and we just want participation. Hey, let you have fun and enjoy it.
How many people we have signed up right now? Do you know off the top of your head?
Last I looked, we're in the 40s for drivers.
Where were we at last year?
This time I don't know, John. I can't remember. Man, I'm getting older.
Okay.
You know
Well,
how this works.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
I
like
know.
that,
That's
but
okay.
we encourage you to come out and enjoy it and bring your families out Saturday if you can. So what do we have next?
Man, and a couple people I need to give recognition to, and I almost forgot this. I'm glad I did. I just looked at my notes, and this is why I write notes, of course. But last week you may be asking, what's this truck driving championship about? Well, if you finish in our top 15 or 20 or so out here on the training pad, as long as you qualify, we'll ask you to go and represent Prime at state truck driving championships. If you win the state in your class and you go to the nationals. Well, last week we had 2 drivers here from Prime that went to nationals. Anthony Eck went in the tank class. Anthony finished 34 in the nation in tank. And also we had Roy Romo that represented Prime in the sleeper berth class. And Roy finished 22nd in the nation. And nationals is they call it the Super Bowl of truck driving, and that's what it is, man. You got written tests, you got a pre-trip you have to do, then you have to drive, and it's all indoors, and it's a little bit high stress on drivers. There's a lot of
and representation.
Oh yeah, they did a good job. So let's give them a big round of applause, man. I know they're not here, but they're listening. And they finished first place out in Utah this past year. We compete, and this next year we're going to compete in Utah and in Missouri as well. So, if you do well out here in our course this next Friday, I'm going to be contacting you, see which way you want to go. If you want to go out to Utah and compete, or if you want to compete here in Missouri, it's either one. It's up to the drivers, but you got to have no preventable accidents in the last year, and you got to be employed here 11 out of the last 12 months, and that's part of the qualifications. So, other than that, I'll quit blabbling because I know we got a lot of speakers.
We got a packed
good speakers
program today. We do.
There you go. What do you got? You want to bring old Bill up here?
Let's bring Bill up with our safety department here for just a moment here. So Bill's going to talk about the upcoming Memorial Stair Climb.
Yeah, Bill spends a lot of time. So does his family. Your family's involved in this every year too, as well. Great job you do, help promoting Prime, but it's bigger than that. It's about the veterans and those that lost their lives. I'm gonna let you take it over.
Dave, we say a lot of times around here that we're family, and family, we don't just do work together. We also do other extracurricular activities together. And one of those activities that a number of Prime associates have been involved in over the past, this will be our 8th year. It's something called the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. How many people in here remember where they were on 9/11? A bunch of us. It's hard to believe a lot of these younger generation coming up to drive now weren't born then. That's hard for me to believe because I remember exactly where I was that day. That evening, I was in the Law Enforcement Academy over at Drury University. If you've heard this story, I'm sorry, but you're going to hear a repeat of it because it's very powerful. When we walked in that night for class, there was a TV going in the front of the room, and we all just sat down. No one said a word. There was 30 of us in class. At the end of our 5-hour class lesson, the instructor shut the TV off, and all he did was look at us and say, "You've now chosen a profession. You have to run towards that instead of away from it. If you can't do it, get out of my class." That was the end of class. That was powerful for me. To this day, I every year will compete or participate in the 9/11 Stair Climb. What it is there's a tribute that's done every year around the 9/11 timeframe to where they allow 343 participants to wear an ID badge around their neck, just like Dave said that we're required to wear every day, but this one's a little different. This one carries the identity of one of those firefighters. When we participate in this event, we get to do the climb for them. I wanted to share with you, and many of you may not know this, and I'll let you know the relative of it here in a second, but there was a battalion chief by the name of Oriole Palmer. Oriole Palmer is significant to the stair climb event because Oriole Palmer was the only firefighter to make it to the 78th floor, which is the highest recorded floor that any firefighter made it to. He was able to ride the elevator to the 41st floor where he exited and ran carrying 80 pounds of gear to the 78th floor. He did that because there was people trapped on the 78th floor and he knew it. And when he arrived there, his radio transmission was, "I've arrived at the 78th floor with my battalion. We've got multiple victims and we've got people trapped." They then were, it's hard to tell the stories about 9/11, isn't it? It's hard to hear it. And I get teared up every time I talk about this event. He was able to help people get out of an elevator they were trapped in. But 1 minute later, the tower collapsed around them. 343 firefighters ran towards danger that day and didn't return. They are heroes. It's got to be up to us to carry their legacy. That's why we do this event. That's why there's numerous associates. We've had years where they only allow 343, 48 of them were prime associates, drivers, in-house, vendors. It's also a fundraiser. We get to raise money for the Fallen Firefighter Foundation to help families that have lost loved ones that were killed in the line of duty. Prime has raised over $80,000 in the past 7 years for this event. There's a link on your app. What I would ask you to do is climb in remembrance. Join us. If you can't climb 110 flights of stairs, do me a favor. Put that ID badge around your neck and walk. And do one thing. Remember them. Keep their legacy alive. It's got to be us to make sure that we pass on to the next generation what these 343 brave souls did. Now, the significance of that 78th floor, when we participate in this event, and it's going to be held here in Springfield over at MSU Stadium, we are given the identity of one of those fallen heroes, and we're going to climb 110 flights of stairs. At the end of the 78th flight, we get to ring a firefighter bell, and we call out the name of that firefighter we're climbing for. That's significant because that was the highest number anyone got to, right? Battalion Chief Palmer, that was the highest that they were able to get. And then we finish the 110 flights of stairs they didn't get to, and we carry them the whole way. It's a very powerful event. I ask if you're in town, just come over and watch it if you don't want to climb. It's not a timed event. It's not timed because there will be 100 firefighters that'll show up and climb it in complete full gear. They do it in remembrance because of those that were lost. So if you want to be involved in this event, read on it on the app. If you can't be here, I get it. They have a remote option to where you can do it wherever you're at. Just be a part of it. Help us keep the legacy alive of those that sacrificed their life to do nothing but to save others. So that's all I've got for you this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Bill. And please go on the app and please check that out. I know I for sure remember where I was at September 11th, whenever that happened as well. So,
and that's what's great about Prime. We got people like Bill that takes on these, outside activities. It's just so important to our community, to our nation, and to Prime. And Bill started this many years ago and just kept going with it, and does an awesome job with it. And you can tell in his voice and all that, and his reflection on it, how powerful it really is. So
the question I had was, when is this? When is this?
It's September 30th, 5 weeks from tomorrow. It's on a Saturday. There we go. I just got one signed up. Be signing up.
there we go. Great.
all right, what do we got next, John?
All right, we're going to bring Colby and Rachel up with driver health and wellness. They haven't been up here in a couple of weeks, so I know they've got a couple of things. I think, Colby, you're getting ready to go out west, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I'm headed out there today, so we'll be out there. Bill, appreciate that. You and I talked about, that's an amazing event. I know myself, I don't know if Rachel, but I'm going to do it with you. So I think it's incredible. So I love being a part of that. So hey, everybody, I'm Colby with the Driver Health and Fitness Department. This is Rachel, our dietitian. Rachel, just want to fill you guys in on our Summer Stride Challenge, kind of going along with what Bill's talking about is, getting out there, moving around. So Rachel, you want to fill them in on that real quick?
Yeah, walking is a great way to help your metabolism and to help kind of get some activity in. We have the Summer Stride Challenge going. It's almost done here. You guys have almost reached the mile mark. On average, drivers are logging 77 miles a day. And this is a competition against all of the in-house. And the in-house are logging about 19 miles a day. So you guys are you're doing a good job on beating the in-house. So keep it up. To log your miles, you can just log. You don't have to log every day. You can just log at the end of your week if you'd like, and just kind of look at your week summary. That's what we have a lot of drivers do. And you can go to your Prime app, go to Driver Health and Fitness, and click on the Summer Stride Challenge there.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. Yeah. So like Rachel's saying too, our driver health and fitness department, a lot of you new drivers too. We're here to help you any way we can. So if you have questions about fitness, exercising in the truck, out of the truck, maybe you have like a DOT physical coming up and maybe you're worried about something, you want to talk about nutrition, that's what we're here for. We have personal trainers in all 3 of our main terminals. Like John said, I'm headed out west with the group tonight, and I'll be out there tomorrow for the picnic. So I'll have a truck at the picnic. We'll show you some exercises if anybody wants to come by. So Salt Lake City, I'll be there. And yeah, we're just always here to help. So if you're in Springfield, our office is upstairs. But like I said, please let us know any way we can help. Okay.
That's a pretty good transition right there. Go from the 9/11 stair climb to driver health and wellness, and good to see Colby's going to be involved in that. And yeah, hopefully get more drivers too involved.
Absolutely. You know, the in-house folks aren't faring too well on this walking challenge, so
No,
it's not very
we're getting
close.
smoked, but that's okay. We'll try. We keep putting in our numbers.
Exactly. So we're going to bring up Sam Messick next, and Sam's going to talk with you a little bit, give us a fuel update. Sam hasn't been up here in a couple of weeks. Sam always has a lot of great information. So good morning, Sam.
Sam was one of these that we got asked by our drivers. Can we get Sam up there to talk about fuel? So there you go, man. The stage is all yours.
I hope I don't disappoint. I'm afraid I might. But no, hey, just wanted to give a couple quick updates on a couple of Love's things that have been going on recently. So most of you probably saw a message that went out this week about some issues that Love's was having with their mobile app. So we've got some clarification and some updates from them. You were, as most of you well know, you were having issues a lot of the time trying to get mobile transactions to process, get a start code, right, to enter at the pump to do a mobile fueling transaction at Love's. So what they've come back to us with, and we'll be sending this out in the app today, is that it's really not an issue with the app. It's an issue with the unit number that's being put into the app, and somehow it's being misrecognized by their system. So they're working on getting that fixed, but they're saying that the majority of transactions should still go through without an issue on the Love's mobile app. So you should be able to get a mobile start code. So they had previously told us the app wouldn't work for mobile fueling due to some fraud controls that they had put in place, but that's not the case at this point in time. So you can still use the Love's mobile app for fueling, and the issues that are there today should be going away very soon with some of the updates that they're making. The other probably more important thing that I wanted to mention was we've been in close contact and a lot of conversation with Love's about, we've had a lot of issues with the rewards program, right? So as most of you know, in order to get prime operators automatically get diamond status at Love's facilities, which is 4 times the points, free showers, free drink refills every day. So in order to get that though, they've been sending out an email the first of the month with an opt-in button to the email address that you have on file with Love's. And you have to go find that email, click opt-in every single month, first of the month, in order to get the status. So what we've asked them to do, because there's all kinds of issues, drivers can't find the email, we didn't get the email accidentally got deleted, it got caught up in spam filters, so it's just not a very good process. I know it's a pain for you all, and believe me, it's a pain for us. So we've asked them to redo the process. So they are working feverishly right now to try to get a better process put in place before September 1st. Because that's when the next email blast would go out with the opt-in for those rewards that you would need to act upon, right? And go in there and activate your reward status. So we hear you loud and clear on the fact that this process isn't working. We need a better one. So do they, and they've been very reactive in trying to get that fixed for us. So look for some updates on the Prime mobile app in regards to what the ultimate solution is, getting a better process put into place there. The only other thing I was going to mention, and this is just a general reminder and I guess encouragement, when you look at the opportunity right now that's out there, fuel costs have really started to increase, right, over the last 4 or 5 months. We've seen fuel costs go up what's close to 40% on the diesel side compared to where we were at the beginning of this year. So our fuel surcharge program, right, is a very powerful program for operators that run an efficient truck and efficient from a fuel economy perspective. So there's definitely a major opportunity for you as fuel prices are going up to increase your earnings materially if you're running an efficient operation from a fuel economy perspective. So we might need to do another reminder, just walk everybody through the calculation. We'll do maybe a Facebook Live or a YouTube Live specifically focused around this, but your fuel economy always matters. But especially when we're in a tough freight economy like we're in right now, but most of the time when freight's poor, right, fuel prices aren't high. It's kind of different right now. Fuel prices have gone up due to a little bit of a supply issue and things, due to some of the extreme heat that we've seen. Some of the refineries have been having to operate at lower capacity than normal, so fuel supply is down a little bit. So with fuel prices high, it means that you can really work that fuel surcharge to your benefit to increase your profitability. So I highly encourage you, it's impactful from an environmental perspective to make sure that your fuel economy is as good as it can be. It's extremely beneficial to you from a just overall fuel cost perspective to make sure that you're running an efficient operation from a fuel economy perspective, but most definitely so that fuel surcharge can work for you towards your profitability in a big way if you're making sure that you're running an efficient operation when fuel costs are high. High fuel costs are a good thing for your fuel surcharge income. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind. And if you'd like some more information on it, we definitely can do a follow-up video to give some more information to the fleet. But any questions for me?
Okay,
That's it.
if no questions, Sam, do you mind sticking around for just a little
Yeah,
bit in case somebody
absolutely.
does think of something?
Yep, I'll be
All
here.
right, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Let's give
Thanks,
Sam a
Sam.
round of applause.
This comes into the fun part of the meeting right here. This is gonna be interesting. I
I
love
know.
listening to these guys, these different departments.
So yeah, so we've had the reefer department up here a couple of times in the last few weeks, just talking about what the economy is, how the freight's looking, the marketplace. So we're going to bring up our tanker and flatbed division. So guys, if you want to come on up, do we have any flatbed or tanker drivers with us this morning? Great.
So you want both of them, John, both departments, or you just want one at a time?
We can do it however they want to do it. So if flatbed wants to come up first, that's perfect.
Okay, all right. Hey, Corey.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Joey. I'm a flatbed fleet manager. This is Corey in our sales department.
Hey, everybody.
I was asked to come up here and give you guys some tips and tricks on how to make good revenue. Unfortunately, I told my boss I can't give you any tips or tricks. It all comes down to the fundamentals. What you learn as a PSD, what you learn through TNT, nothing ever changes. If it's a brand new driver that I'm talking with, or a driver who's been here 20 years, I have the exact same conversations with them. Okay, managing your business is very big in the trucking world. You're not just a truck driver. On the independent contractor side, you're an accountant, you're an HR manager. One of your employees is probably driving the truck. There's a lot of different things that you need to manage. One of the big ones is Trucking 101. Looking at your bills. When you get to a shipper, the very first thing they do, give you the bills, double check it to the Qualcomm. When our customers call Prime and say, hey, I have a load to go from A to B, Prime types it up and sends it to you in the Qualcomm. We don't necessarily find out that they changed the load to go from A to C until you get the bills, tell us about the change. So you always, as soon as you get the paperwork, double check it to the Qualcomm. We could have sent you the load as a TARP load and they changed their mind. Hey, it's no TARP. We don't want you to TARP the load and not get paid for it, or vice versa. It could be raining outside and they changed their mind and now they want it to be a TARP load. We don't know about that. So until you look at the bills and say, hey, they changed this to a TARP load, we have no idea. So it's your responsibility as a driver. Step one, as soon as you get the paperwork, double check it to the Qualcomm, see if anything is different, notify your fleet manager. Claims are always a big deal, and I think Corey will touch on this later, but we don't want to lose money over something simple. If you have a TARP load, put plastic down underneath the tarps in case you have a pinhole you don't know about. If you're going to offload and it looks rainy, make sure that they have somewhere covered where you can untarp the load so you don't get the load wet. Managing your business on the cost side of things, I'm an independent contractor fleet manager, so I don't talk a whole lot about the company side. But on the lease side, the independent contractor side, you have fixed expenses. Do you know what your fixed expenses are? Do you know how much it is per day? I have a great example that happened in Utah this week. I had a driver in the shop. They were going to do some of the work at a dealership and some of the work at the Salt Lake shop because the Salt Lake shop could do it cheaper. The problem is the Salt Lake shop could do it $137 cheaper, but they couldn't get the driver in for 4 days. So between his $200 a day fixed expense and his $128 a day TNT, it was going to cost him $1,200 more to get it done at the Salt Lake shop than to pay $137 more at the dealership. So making sure you understand your fixed costs, managing your money, having an emergency fund set up. That's not something that the company guys can do, but on the independent contractor side, if you put $50 a week, $100 a week in there, when you go home, you can pay your truck note to Success Leasing while you're at home. So when you come off home time, you're not negative. You don't owe anybody any money. I know Sam talked a lot about fuel, so I'm just going to touch on it a little bit. There's a huge difference between net fuel cost and miles per gallon. I have a driver getting 9 miles per gallon, but his net fuel cost is 25 cents. I have a driver with 6 miles per gallon, but his net fuel cost is 7 cents. The guy getting horrible fuel mileage is spending less on fuel because of his net fuel cost. Running the macro 27 is extremely important. Every day you wake up, you run the 27, you hop out, you do your pre-trip, you get back in the truck and see where you're supposed to get fuel that day. We can tell when people just have the Prime app and they're flipping through, trying to find where to get fuel that day. What I always tell my drivers is give me the cake, not the recipe. Make it simple. Run the macro 27, have the computer do all the work for you, tell you where to get fuel, and stick to it. If it says to get 50 gallons here, 150 gallons here, and fill up here, you should do that. It is planning 3 and 4 and 5 steps ahead. But when you're just taking the Prime app and flipping along your route, trying to find the best place to get fuel, it helps. It's better than nothing, but it's not as good as running the macro 27. The last 2 parts I have to talk on is managing your hours. Okay. We do all of our planning on the flatbed side based off you taking a 10-hour break and averaging 50 miles per hour. When you take an 11-hour break, a 12-hour break, 13-hour break, it cuts into the productivity time of your truck and it messes with all of our planning. If you run all night and you get empty first thing in the morning with no hours to reload, I know a lot of people joke about flatbed being banker hours. Well, if you can't reload during the day, during the sunlight where our shippers are open, you just wasted a day of productivity all because you wanted to run overnight. So you got to plan ahead. You got to look ahead at your load. The last part is the citations. You know, CAT scale's $14 insurance policy to make sure your load's not overweight. You should be doing that on every load. One overweight ticket completely wipes out the revenue of a load. And then it's been a while since I've checked on this, but at a truck stop, 70% of our wrecks are at truck stops at Prime. So what I tell my drivers to do is run the macro 19. When they can park at shippers and receivers, do that. Skip truck stops, get your fuel and go. So that's all I had notes for. Corey, what do you got?
Guys, my name's Corey Smith. I am an 18-year veteran here at Prime in the sales department and flatbed. First and foremost, I want to start by thanking you guys for picking up and delivering the freight and making us look good. It makes my job easy to book loads for our flatbed drivers when we're picking up and delivering on time and delivering loads clean and claim free. So thank you very much for that. Helps a big help for us. Hopefully you guys are all taking care of yourselves in the heat. All you flatbed guys out there doing the manual labor, tarping loads, securing loads, please take care of yourselves out there on the road. It's so hot and so conditions are really rough right now. So make sure you're staying hydrated and staying ahead of that, so you're not having any kind of issues getting down the road and delivering our freight safely. We are currently, as everybody knows, we're currently in a little bit of a down market. Things are a little bit more challenging than they were a year ago. Really, the best advice I have is to pick up and deliver on time, deliver service with a smile, be excellent to our customers and the folks working at each location. That's huge for us right now. Every little bit helps, and that helps differentiate us from our customer or from our competitors out there. So we really appreciate it. One more thing I just wanted to touch on real quick. Our bill of ladings, like Joey said, when we're trying to stay claim free, it's so important that we're counting as stuff is being offloaded off the trailer, and we're making sure that the serial numbers on machines match. We're making sure bundle counts match. We've seen a lot of stuff, a lot of issues lately where customers are coming back to us several weeks after a load has been delivered and saying, we can't find this. And a lot of times we're delivering to a yard and stuff might be offloaded and not touched for a few weeks. So please make sure we're documenting and counting everything as it comes off the trailer. It's critically important and protects you going down the road.
All right. So, one question that I had, and for any flatbed folks that are here listening out there, so on the reefer side, they talked about pre-cooling trailers, making sure trailers are clean prior to going into customers, getting empty equipment in. So there's equipment there for the customers to load if they need it. What are some of the things that your drivers can do before they go into a customer? Because I know you don't have to pre-cool a trailer. So what are some of the things that they can do to set us apart from the competition with our customers?
Dropping trailers that are have good tires, good equipment. We're showing up early and ready to go as far as strapping and securing. I mean, just being on time and communicating if there are any issues. That's really what sets us apart.
All right, perfect. Well, we appreciate it very much. Does anybody have any questions on the flatbed side right now while we've got them up here? Okay. Guys, we appreciate it. If you can, stick around a little bit in case anybody has a question, but we appreciate it very much. All right, great information there. Joey talked a lot about trip planning. And if you're new here, as you get into this, you'll understand that trip planning, it saves you a lot of time and a lot of headache down the road. So,
man, you learned a lot being a reefer fleet manager.
I did. Trip planning
can't pre-cool flatbed trailers. That's good, John.
I didn't learn that until about year 10 here.
Year 10, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
So let's bring up our tanker side up here right now.
We've got Doug Adams on the sales side and Dustin Smith on the fleet manager side. So welcome, guys. Good morning. Got your Nix's shirt. Love it.
Yeah, good morning.
Guys, thanks for being here. I know I didn't see too many tanker folks out here. That just means they're running freight hard. But anyway, thanks for being here this morning. This is Doug. He does sales. We work pretty close hand in hand, obviously. And my main focus, or one of them is, or I guess I should say 3 of them, is to keep you guys safe, run efficiently, and be profitable. And those last 2 really are tied in hand close to Doug and I here. We want you to run as efficiently as you can. And we're aware, in this market, sometimes that means that you're going to have to go a little further out than what you're used to. And so Doug will send me loads. He'll send the other fleet managers loads. And it's our job to look at those and question him if we need to. Doug, I actually was trained by him. There's nothing that I've dealt with that he hasn't dealt with either. So I know when he sends me something, if there's a question in my mind, I will ask him, but 100% of the time he's going to have something to back that up with, so it makes sense, so it's profitable for you in the most efficient way possible. And that's what we really want to do at the end of the day. We want to be profitable, we want you to be profitable, and we want to take care of our customers at the same time. But Doug, if you got something to say on top of that.
Yeah, I do. I'm Doug Adams. I work in tanker sales. Welcome, everybody, and I'd like to congratulate you newcomers coming in. We're certainly glad to have you, as John mentioned. We feel like we're the best of the best, and we hire the best of the best. So congratulations to you guys for making that cut. We appreciate you. We know you're going to do a good job, okay? And we're here to help, so understand that. It doesn't matter, what capacity we're in. John or Dave mentioned, you got a badge and it'll get you into, through any door into any department. So please understand that is the case and that we're here to answer any questions and to help you along the way. I spoke, I don't know, these guys keep bringing me up here for these national holidays, right? Like I was up here Cinco de Mayo. We were talking about cervezas and margaritas. And today, it's kind of a national holiday. For all of us that have young kids, they're in school. They started this week, most of us. And tonight's Friday Night Lights, man, football. Nothing better than that, right? Great time of year. But anyway, I work in sales. Dustin, just briefly, Joey and Corey, talked about the things that probably Dustin and I talk about. It is transportation. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. And I was going to ask about any tanker drivers, and there's Don Squire right there. I worked with Don 10 years ago. I saw his wife walk through here as well. So he transitioned over to our inedible department. Great driver. Okay, you're trying to age me, Don. Come on. So great driver. Again, another product of long-term employment here. Great driver. And kind of what Dustin says, picking up and delivering on time is really key, right? Corey mentioned kind of a downturn in the market a little bit. Hey, guys, we're good. We're good. But we see those peaks and valleys, okay? That's what we see. And, again, I dispatched for many years here, and I still speak with the drivers, and they'll ask very often, like, what can we do to help you or make your job easier? And there's two things that come to mind. Well, three, but I think the first one is just, you got to be safe, right? Safety is our number one calling. We all know that. So that's first. But service and communication is big. When we see a little bit of a downturn in this market, what can we do to grow our business and put additional freight in the bucket? And it's service. It comes down to service, picking up and delivering on time. And, the expectations are 100% on time service, but is that reality? No, it's not. But if you're going to be late on a load, if you can communicate with us where I can communicate with the customer proactively ahead of time, that's not a bad conversation. But when the customer is asking me, hey, why is this load late? That's not a good feeling, and that's not a good conversation. So you guys do a fantastic job, by the way. We are the best of the best. So just service and communication, those are the things that you can do. Safety, number one, okay? So that's pretty much what I have. Like I said, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. I would like to say real quick, Robert and Steve, I'm glad to be here. I worked almost 20 years with Roadway Express, which then turned into YRC, which is now closed. So maybe I was ahead of the game and saw something, but thank you for allowing me to come here and participate and do what I do. I do work hard, and I'm not the best. I do make mistakes just like everybody else. So don't worry about making mistakes out there. Just communicate and let us know, So read your bills. If you got a little bit extra time, read your load assignment, know what that load is requiring from you as a driver. Check it against your Qualcomm. You guys know the drill, but we have to, it's like Freight 101, right? You have to, it's no different than wrestling. You got to work on your technique and the simple stuff, right? You got to keep revisiting that. So let's continue to do that. Thank you again. I do want to say that we've got one of our largest tanker partners and customers here in town. They come in to visit. Maybe once a year they come in, and they're here with us this morning. They're with AAK, Aarhus. We've got Justin Rutan and Bill Patron. So I would ask you to come up. I'm not going to put you on the spot to speak unless you want to. You guys may have some questions out there for them, and that's fine. Fire away. But these guys are very instrumental, daily communication with them. And I promise you that they're going to say, hey, service is key. You're right. They have customers that they deal with. When we're late, it's not me communicating with them, but it's also them communicating with their customers as well, right?
Yeah, this
So,
is literally the communication line. You guys to me, to Doug, to them, and right back.
this is literally it. You, Dustin, me, and these guys, and they're fantastic. They're great to work with. They're understanding. I will say, and I'm not demeaning you at all. Justin, I worked with for years, and of the customers I work with, he is truly the person that understands the driver. And I have daily communication with him where he says, is the driver okay? Is he protected? What can we do financially? So in a downturn market, what you guys could see is maybe longer deadheads. There's no value in having a truck sit. That dwell time between loads, it's not good. So we may put you on a 500-mile deadhead to go to New Jersey to pick up a load, say out of Ohio or something. And, you know, these guys are very instrumental in what can I do to make your driver whole? What can I do to make them financially sound and do this load? So they understand the importance of that. So, again, I'd like for you guys to give a round of applause. These guys are fantastic, great people. If you have something, I'll give you the mic. Do we have any questions or anything?
So we don't get to meet a lot of our customers because we work in the plant or we work remotely. So a lot of times you guys are the face that our customer sees. So I just want to say thank you for everything you do. Very much appreciated.
All right, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you being here. Safe travels home. We'll talk here in a bit.
Doug and I will be upstairs for most of the day today. If anybody has questions, you can come up and see us. We'll be over here.
Yeah, and just real quick, I feel obligated to say this. I know we're running short on time. I'd just like to talk just real shortly on, because I can talk all day if you want me to. That's who I am. But Bill back here talking about the stair climb challenge and all this for the firefighters and 911. The one thing that I caught out of that is, you know, the message of, you know, run towards it, don't run away. He saved my life a year ago, and I'm emotional about it, but it's true. And he ran towards a problem and he solved it. I would drop the mic, but I'm afraid I'll break it, so I'm out.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man.
There you go. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn my mic over to Big D. He's sitting over here. He's kind of scratching at the floor, kind of like a bull. He's ready to take it and run with it. So I'm gonna turn it over. You can deal with him to the rest of the meeting, Johnny.
Yeah, bring it up.
So Dennis Davis, our Director of Safety. Good having you, Dennis.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good to be here with you guys this morning. And special thanks to our friends at AAK. We always appreciate when we have some of our best customers to come in and visit. You know, you'll be able to experience a little bit of the culture. And of course, you'll get to see that, you know, safety is the foundation of that culture, as you can see with today's here meeting. I want to echo what John and Dave said in welcoming our new folks at all of our locations. And of course, telling our veteran drivers, welcome home. We appreciate having you at all of these. You know, we're traveling to Salt Lake City tonight. We're really excited to celebrate our long-term associates there at the Utah terminal, but we're really excited, especially excited to celebrate our million-mile drivers and give them the opportunity to be honored in the way that they deserve. I'm supposed to announce that on Saturday at 10 a.m. at Salt Lake City, Colby Hughes and his group will be doing the same walk that they did in Pittston a couple weeks ago, 1 mile walk. So 10 a.m. Hopefully you'll put it out on the app on exactly where to meet, and he'll have a lot of participation from our drivers there. I do have a few housekeeping deals to get before I get Steve Wucky up here next. Of course, as always, at every single meeting, we've got our experts over here to my right. You know, Richard abandoned us, you know, but we got, you know, Brianne and team over here to my right to give you all of the technology needs and answer any questions that you have tech-wise over here, especially with the Prime mobile app. These folks are the experts to get that done. I was told this morning that I don't have on red, so I have on reddish. I do my best. I run out of red, you know, but I try to get as close to it as possible. But you see a lot of the leadership and a lot of folks around the room do have on red. We do that every single Friday. RED, remember everyone deployed. We are a company that we always appreciate the folks that have defended our freedom. So if you would do us the honor, anybody that served in the armed forces, stand for just a second to give us the opportunity to properly honor you. You know, we had a great meeting this week, and kudos to my safety team. I've been traveling this week. They put it all together. I just had the opportunity to show up and participate. You know, we've got the good thing about this deal is, you know, taking over basically at the first of the year, I was handed the best team, the very best safety team in the industry. You know, we did some tallying, and we've got about 75 years of safety and trucking experience right there in the center of the room, right next to the pillars. So I appreciate them so much. I do want to ask our buddy Steve Wucky to come up here and give us a good transition. Always a pleasure to see you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Dennis. Thank you very much. Really appreciate all of you guys that have stepped up and shared information for our operators. My name is Steve Wucky. I'm in sales, but really all of you that are here today and all of you that are listening are in sales as well. All we do is sell what you give us to sell, and I submit to you, you give us the best product in the country. We're really proud of what you do. For you new folks, thank you very much for choosing Prime. We're far from perfect, but we have a goal every day to get better. So we're gonna listen to you all. We're very transparent, and we love getting feedback. We say feedback's the breakfast of champions. So as you go through our process and you find something that doesn't quite suit you, don't hesitate. We always say, do not be a victim. Step up. Everybody's wide open for you to speak to. We love our drivers. You are the reason that we're all here. So thank you for all you do. And those of you that are out there listening and driving right now, thank you. Please be safe. Service is important, and we're recognized. We have a brand. We're recognized for what we do. This is, I think, my 40th year. Robert may disagree, but I can tell you, I've not delivered one load on time, but you all do it every day, and you're recognized by many of our customers. And believe me, we have a tremendous group of customers. I'd say the best customer base in the country. So we've been traveling around seeing some of them, and we're in Atlanta, Georgia. Hang on here just a minute. We were in Atlanta, Georgia this week with our friends at Coca-Cola, who's a really great partner of ours, and they selected Prime as the refrigerated carrier of the year. So give yourself a big old round of applause. Like I say, you earned it. You do it every day. It's not necessarily what we do in sales, although I will share our sales strategy with you. It's very simple. We are not a low price carrier. We're a low cost carrier. So what that simply means is we're going to do it on time, most all the time. And we'll keep our customers out of fines and being inundated with additional expense because we don't run on time. So that's our goal. We want it. Safety's our highest calling, but we want to run on time. If you cannot run on time, stop, get secure, call your fleet manager, communicate to him what's going on, and then we can call the customer and stay ahead of that problem. You know what I'm saying? Bad news doesn't get any better as it's delayed. So let's move it along as quickly as possible. Now, along with this, thank you. I appreciate that. Man, you all are just scoring really well this year. This big old trophy here, again, Carrier of the Year for another one of our customers, General Mills up in Minneapolis. So thank you again for what you've done there. Give yourself a big old round of applause. Dennis, take this thing from me, man, before I drop it. Thank you very much. So you newbies, you thought you were coming to a trucking company, but it's a health and wellness event as well. And here's why. Why do we focus on health and wellness? Because we know a good, healthy driver is a safer driver. So it's all part of it. We're all aligned. We're all in it together. We want you to be healthy. We want you to be profitable, and we want you to protect yourself out there. You heard Bill. I'm not making comparison by any stretch, but I will tell you, you're getting into a very dangerous profession. When you get behind that wheel, Junior, am I right? You got to be ready, don't you, brother? You got to be focused, no distractions. You got to get behind that wheel, buckle up, have a game plan, and be safe. Because you're going to have four-wheelers out there that are going to try to wreck you because they're not very damn smart the way they drive. And could be accused of being one of those, you know, because sometimes I'm on my phone when I shouldn't be. Please understand it's a dangerous job. Be safe, be ready to protect yourself. Okay, so business is good. You heard Sam talk a little bit about fuel and the cost side of this business. It's challenging. The marketplace is challenging, but we're winning. We're seeing our load count starting to improve. So during down markets, we ask you, like we do internally, work on the cost side. That's why this fuel purchase is so important. Our customers help us with a fuel surcharge mechanism. If you can improve your miles per gallon and your fuel purchasing, that money will go to you. So protect yourself, work on your cost side, and we'll be just fine. We're going to get on through this. Others are not going to get through it, which will be a good thing for us. We'll see capacity come out of the marketplace, and things will start rolling again for us. Now, I'd like to bring up the guy that started this business a few years ago, a young guy. My goodness, you're going for a job interview, aren't you? Are you leaving us?
How did you know?
You get all cleaned up, slicked up, brother.
He claims he's been here 40 years. I'm telling him, he may not make 41. You know what I'm saying?
You're looking good today, bro.
Naughty about me like that. But no, Steve's great. He's one heck of a sales guy. He represents us very well. And he's, you know, like you, he's in there battling it every day. Every day we're grinding away on our customers for more volume, and it's working. You know, I think, you know, we talk about the business cycles, and they're absolutely true. But this is a growth company. This is a growth company. We've got a lot of new trucks coming. We're going to amp up recruiting right now, which would make a lot of folks happy. We're going to amp up our team number. We're up 443 loads this morning. Is that right, Steve? Up 443 loads. So, you know, that's a good sign. So we'll be ahead of the next cycle. We've come through this without diluting. One of the things I'm most proud of, we did not dilute our drivers' earnings materially. You know, we just hung with it, stuck with it, made the right decisions. I'm convinced we've made the right decisions. And now it's time. I mean, time you recognize you're in one of these cycles or it's bottoming out, you know, you better be ready for the next phase, right? You better be ready, better be looking ahead, just like you all, you're planning your trips. You know, management in here, sales in here, we got to be looking ahead and planning our next moves. We're getting ready for this thing to turn around. And we'll be right there, and we'll be growing because we are a growth company. Thanks to you all and the service you provide. So,
hey, Bill, by the way, Bill, I'll be there with you. Bad knee and all. I'll be walking those stairs with you, brother.
You made it every step last year.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. He kind of looks like
you can do better than that. Pretty good. Come on, come on, man. Step it up.
That's about all I can do for you. You're pretty good. No, he's good. Anyway, folks, again, thanks for all you do. Things are looking good. We're just going to keep on growing and doing it. God bless you. Be safe out there.